Hello. Hi. Good evening to all of you. Yes. Hi. Just 1 or 2 minutes. We'll open the files. It's copying. Hold on, please. Right. Okay. So where we are in the form validation. Almost we have done, and we are 80 to display the what you can say error messages. Right. So okay. So finally, with the validate form based on the email address and password valid, we are setting form valid is true or false, and that we are assigning to the button. If form valid is true, we have to show the button active or is false. Okay, and now here we have given form errors a new component. We are passing the form errors, which is a combination of email and password, what we have written, and then let us create a new file which is form errors.js. Here, irrespective of the number of fields, that means we have two fields as of now, but it may have three fields or four fields or even 10 fields. That is like first name, last name, email address, mobile, URL, age, and description. Like this, also a number of fields we can have right now. So we will consider the list of what you can say fields, the list of fields as a array, and whatever we are having the list of fields, the first field is considered as a zero index and one index and two and so on. So here we are having two fields. Email address is considered as a zero, I mean in the zero index, and password is in the one index. But finally, we're seeing that we are maintaining or we are considering the list of input elements in the format of an array. Then now let us write import React from React. Then export const the name of the component form errors. We have to a property right now. So that just we are writing here form errors. With this, we are displaying one by one. Of course, if it is having, error message is true, then we'll display the message. Otherwise, nothing else. So, div in this div using that object, a built-in object dot referring the keys of form errors. That is, if email address and password both are errors, then both will come. Only one error, that particular thing will be comes here. The form errors will be having whatever we are having in the form errors. We have to extract. That's why we have written map. Map of field name, comma I. That's index, and if form errors of field name dot length greater than 0, then we are displaying that error message as sorry, in the format of key, so in the format of paragraph, that index saying that that particular field name, email address or password with the given error message. From where we are getting that error message? Here we have set is invalid something. This is an error message we are printing here of a particular form error saying that email address is invalid, password is invalid, like this. If there is no error, then nothing else, of course, we make it nothing else to display. Then the name form errors, let us import in the form validation. Import form errors from form errors. You want something that statement should display what you can say, that statement should display something in the red color or something styling. You can also write style and that equals to like this. Then we are so what user is typing here in the input elements, we are taking that value and checking, sorry, passing that email address, its value, or password, its value to validate each and every field. If it is matching with email address of switch case, we are writing some regular expression saying if it is true or false that you are setting in the email address as email address and password are the two fields under the form errors to see that if anything is having error or both the things are having error, we are passing we are passing that error to the form error separate, what you can say, separate component where we want to display the error message, that this error message will be displaying in the given place where we have given in the place, this place it will be displayed. So that's it. Let us first see that output so far what we have done. Npm space start. Let us wait for a few seconds. Okay, something else went wrong. Let us just check it out. What is that error we are getting? Attempted import error. Right now in the same file does not contain default export. No need. One second, let me open. Form errors. Already we have export, but okay, let us do one thing. Let us make it. It's not something as a default export. So we make it here opening and closing curly braces. It's an optional, you can see. Then then style prop. Okay. Value must be object. Where is that? Here. Okay. For timing, let us leave this one. Then now localhost 3000. Okay. And it is disabled defaultly because we have set email address and password as false in the very beginning until user enters the fields properly. Okay, user came and saying that email address is invalid. Actually, the problem is the bootstrap is not properly loading. Otherwise, it would be nice design. Right? Email address error gone away. Whereas Sam, 1 second, hold on, please. Okay, let us check that condition. What we have written here, saying that one lowercase, one uppercase, one special symbol, and with combination of digit, it is expecting. So password is invalid right now. Okay, then I'm just writing still error. I have written even uppercase and lowercase. Okay, 8 to 10 characters gap. It has to be. That is. Let us do one thing. For our understanding purpose, we just make it something here. So that we can see. Okay, that email address is correct. And then when we enter, I'm just entering W1 AM at 321. The combination of lowercase alphabets, uppercase alphabets, and special symbols at the same time digits combination. So as you have entered the two things properly, it is highlighted. That is active now. This is how you can create the concept of a form validation. Irrespective of the number of fields, the logic is same. You will be writing and taking the characters on live, that is on fly itself, whatever user is typing, you will be just giving a call and it will be validating according to the case and expressions, I mean regular expressions, and overall we are just displaying of all the fields whether it is true or false finally, and we display that messages. Okay, okay, you can make it here itself that error message, or you can say taking that a separate class and displaying import class, I mean import form errors.css and display that one. That is we can also do. Okay. Then so we are done with the concept of form validation. Okay. Then okay, let us work with the routing, React, sorry, routing, REST API, and lifecycle hooks. Not at a time, all first routing. What is the routing? Switching from one page to another page. We can say even one component to another component. Now, so as we know how we can create the components, here we have to create few components. One is for navigation separate component, then template design, there is common template design separate component, and then pages. So in the app.js file, you need to when sorry when you want to work with the concept of routing, you need to install or you need to use the module which is called React Router, but there is no module. So let us set that one. Npm space install space hyphen hyphen save React hyphen router. You can go with default or you want to go with particular version. You can also specify. I just wants to go with third version of React router. So I just specified at the rate of symbol and like this. Let us wait. Please wait. Once it completes, we can start of writing components. In the app.js file itself, we can also write functional components, same like as we have done for form separated. But here we are not going to make it separate. If you want, you can also make it. Okay, let me show. Not now. Once it is completed, let us wait. Yes, yes, waiting
Yeah,
for this.
yeah. Actually, I have one suggestions that in next session that can you just tell the what the command and you can just note down so like we can save time.
Yes, yes, but actually I need to install now, and even for our time saving purpose, I just that is the reason I already copied and kept ready.
Okay.
But in middle I can't do it now. Okay, what you said is accepted only. Okay, I will do it, but
Okay.
only for few things we require in that manner. For
Okay.
RESTful API not require anything at all, as it is whatever we have we can use. For life cycle we not require anything. Okay.
Okay.
That-
Yeah. Okay.
okay, completed this one.
Uh,
Then
where
tell me,
can you get all these recordings?
you will be getting, I think now you'll be already having an access, I guess.
No, I don't have that.
Okay, I will inform to the concerned team member. They will forward to you.
Okay, thank you
Yeah,
so much.
right, right. Now come to the point of an app and the required modules to work with the concept of routing. Let us write here. Import. Actually, only at React.js, that's the reason we will get some extra time at the time of designing or developing. We have to install. But whereas an Angular, it's not like that. Once we set up an application, in that we can have n number of components with just individual components we will be installing. For each and every time, no need to create separate concept. I'm just saying you. Okay, but anyway it's almost done. And but one thing, when we are going to discuss after completing of this routing concept, RESTful API and component lifecycle hooks, when we discuss material UI at the same time Redux concept, at that moment also we require something modules to install. But anyway, as you say, I will keep ready, but I will let you know the comment what you have to type when you have to type. Hmm? Right. So router, browser, history, route, and a link. These are the required submodules to work with the concept of a routing from the React router package. And then first let me create a concept of navigation. You even can also create separate file, but let me create here itself all the things for this time. Constant something navbar or navigate something, and that equals to opening closing parenthesis and arrow function. Every component that should return something right now. So return, and then in the div we are going to write a link element. You can say link component which is built in. Link to home page forward slash. Then link to, for example, about us page. From the home page you can see forward slash about us URL or path. And the same way, if you want to connect to contact us, so let us assume that you are creating three links with home, about, and sorry, contact us. Okay, then we are done with navigation for timing. Then when user clicks on a particular link, the page title we want to pass to the template design. First, let us come to the point of a render. Of course, we just change here class app and something so on. We can say class app extends component inside that write a render and return with the combination, of course, the main module of router component. When user is clicking on a particular link, it has to refer to that particular page. So you have to say it has to remain in history, which is we are passing a browser history as a value to the history property. And inside this router, we are just writing all the routes individual. So write a route. Either can go with these two things, or else you can even make it an route, a path if it is matching to this home page or forward slash just. Then connect to the component. Of course, we did not return the component. I'm just writing we are going to give a call to the home component. The same way, then about us, contact us. Make it about us component and contact us component. Then all these pages let us design. Let us have some sample design. So const home and that equals to when you click on a particular page, sorry, particular link, the page name or page title we want to pass as a property. That's the reason we are setting defaultly as a props with where it has to send the page title in the common template. We are going to design a template saying that a template component, it's a user defined only, and in this template that you are passing a title, a property with its value, sorry, with its value home. But one thing, as it is a component now, return due and then place this template. Okay, the same way for about us and contact us. About us and then just make it here IV. and then contact us change here, contact us. All these page information that has to pass with the combination of even a navigation, that is in the total design we are considering. I mean, design means here we are not going to create a great design something. It's just place where a navigation and the pages can load. So here we are writing const the name of a template component, and that equals to, it is taking that value of each and every page as a title property. So title we are getting from a particular page when you user click on this, and return, in this return write a div and give a call to nav bar and make it something h1, and then welcome to that particular page name. Of course we can say opening closing curly braces of the title property page. That's it. So we are done with a navigation. When user clicks on this particular link, of course, that is given in the navigation bar, sorry, in the template. And when user clicks on it, it is connecting to the corresponding component as which we have given here based on its path and entering into its particular component, taking that value as a property of title and then entering into this particular and displaying its value. As of now, we just make it something, only one statement of design. Okay, now let us npm start. For this, we have to wait. We can we can make it something packages kept ready, but rendering concept not able to write. I mean, not able to make it default. Let us please wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Right. Then let us see now. Okay, we have three links and defaultly welcome to home is a property which we are getting value title property. When we click on about changing, that is okay. So a page is changing, or we can say a component is nothing but we can also consider as a page, or page can also be considered as a component because it will be having its own design and its own functionality. Here we have written all the components at one place itself, and you even can also create separate files. These home, about us, contact us, these three things that should connect to template. At the same time, even a navigation also should connect to template because it is the main thing. From this navigation and this component are giving a call, right? That's it. Of course, according to that, I mean, as of now, we just make it something heading and list of links with the navigation something. You can have any HTML template and make it the template in a template design, and wherever the template design and the HTML concept totally, wherever it is required, the properties or something else that should come dynamically, then give a call with the corresponding properties of each and every separate component connecting to its common navigation point. Okay, that's it. Then let us work with the concept of REST API. What is the concept of REST API? Simply we can say someone have some data, or they might have created some functionality, and with that functionality we want to connect, and that functionality we want to connect into our application, where it seems something that if any user comes to our website or our web application, then as we have done something else, but behind it is connected to that main link. So exactly we can say fetching of data is one of the examples. Fetching of data or connecting to a particular one's data using a API link. How we can do it? Let us write. Okay, let us do one thing. If we want to display something data, we require somewhere else. They have to provide. We have a JSON placeholder which they provide some sample data from that. As of now, let us think that we are having a client from JSON placeholder. It provides a sample of fake REST API for developers. Then this is a syntax fetch of the particular URL, whatever you want to connect, and get a response into the format of JSON, print that JSON. We will do it. Okay, these people have given some resources, posts, comments, and so on. Let us go with the concept of anything that you can do it. Okay, let it be to-do list. We want to display the concept of to-do list, what they have given. Then what are the properties here? user ID, title completed. These are the four things that we have to connect and rows that has to display. Let us write. So if you want to directly work in the app itself, yes, you can make it. Or else, if you want to create a separate component, let me create a separate component, name it as REST API controller or something else. REST API. Why we have written controller means it's just a part of functionality, that's why. Okay, now import React component which extends, sorry, from React. Write a class REST API controller which extends component. Here, as in the previous example at form validations, we have used constructor of props and inside that super of props. What is the meaning of that one? We know that constructor is a built-in function and that is to be executed in the very beginning of your component starts its execution. And saying that constructor taking some properties as an arguments to the component. Whereas super of props saying that calling the properties to the parent class, which is nothing but a REST API controller here, sorry, which is nothing but a component. Parent class is component that you have to observe. REST API controller is a subclass or child class. Okay, let us write first. And constructor is also one of the life cycle we can say, but there are some more there are some more life cycle hooks. One of the life cycle hook we are going to use in this example, which is called component did mount. Let us write first this one, constructor of props inside this making a call to the parent class with a props with required props. And what we want to do, the concept to do list. So let us write state and that equals to to do's with empty. Okay, it is point of we can say all the results that we are going to save inside our to do's property. Then we require headers separately because we want to display the format of table which has to be loaded. Let us write this dot, it is a custom or user defined headers and that equals to we are going to specify the property key exactly whatever they have written mean user id I capital as it is that you have to write user id label whatever that you can making something user id whatever that you want and then the same way key write an id label, and then title and completed. Title, and then completed. Okay. Then write a label, okay, these are the things that we require in headers. Then come out of this constructor. First, let us design what we require, a sample table format. In the return, in the render, write a return and make it something, a table tr th. Let us make it something, any HTML. We can also go with CSS. I'm sorry, CS. We can also go with the Bootstrap also. But if we now install that is a React Bootstrap and Bootstrap, it will take time. That's the reason I'm just going with the simple HTML table, HTML CSS. This should be something. I want to go with this, for example, anything. Okay, let me go with anything. Not loading. Anyway, these people have given something. We can write in the, okay, if you want to create something, a separate CSS for this, just API controller.css. Let us write REST API controller.css, and then you can go with the simply. And this ID, let us write first. Okay. And did they have they have This is also same example, I think. Okay. You can copy and paste simply. Total CSS. But this is not our requirement. Okay. We will just change later. And we require a table format now. So make it something in REST API. Even they have kept ready for sample. Also. So what are the things that we require? First of all, 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. That's enough. But one thing, we can just make it loop. We don't need to write separately. For timing, one, two, three, four, 4 columns. Okay. Now we have saved all the required keys and its labels in the headers, right? Object. From that, now observe. We want to refer the columns. So from the headers dot map, writing a definition something HD or something. Okay, let me write HD header, and in this write a return statement. In this return statement, place this th. In this, refer its key from hd dot key and refer its label. hd dot label. For time being, let it be like this. And now we have to fetch the data. So to fetch the data, first of all, we need to get the data into our local property. So how, okay, they have given something here, the link with the concept of one of the life cycle hook, which is we can say a built-in method. Component did mount. Component did mount is a built-in method and it is used to render immediately and trigger the property values what we have referred. Simply we can say, let me write, as soon as the component mounts, which is nothing but renders. Component did mount. It is given a call immediately after a component is mounted, and setting state here will trigger re-rendering. What is that state we are going to set? To-dos. In this state, we are having to-dos. We are going to be setting that a state of properties, and that is re-render. So how we can do it? Let us write with a fetch built-in function. Take that URL or whatever that you want. From this, if it is successfully loading the data, then write a response or anything. But as we are getting something that from some server which is having a data, so we are extracting in the format of response.jsyn. With this, we have to load the data into our own local property. That's why we are writing, then make it something res or whatever that you want, a local. What we have done means from the main URL, we are ready to display a data in the format of JSON that you are extracting and setting. Set a state. What is that property? To-dos with a result. Is that result? So the meaning of this statement is, from this URL, you took all the required, what you can say, data, and that is just referring with a local property. You have triggered or you have set updated with the property which is written in the state, and this will be accessed in the statements. I mean, you can say in the output. Let us write here. We need to repeat a row now. So open close curly braces from the state dot yes to-dos dot map of a function with its value or item connecting with its, I mean, referring with the key. In this, return, place this row. Hmm. Based on the particular key, that means user ID, it is a key. What are the values? ID, its key. What are the values of all records? Title, all the records. So in that manner, we are going to refer. So write key with its key, and you just have to refer here in place of, that is item dot, what is that item? User ID. The same way, I will change. Right here, ID title, right now, title and completed. Then that's it. So we are done. But one thing, you have to export now. After all these things, export default REST API controller, and this place in the wherever that you want. Let us make it as a, okay, let me write class app extends react dot. When you did not given component in the loading, I mean importing, then you can go with like this. Render return import this API controller from, that's it. Only thing is left comparing, that will do in tomorrow, or if you able to do at your end, what you have to do is component, take that URL, take a data into one of the variable, I mean it's a sample which is in the format of a JSON, that you are taking one by one record and setting into your own property that you are extracting with this. Okay, anyway, I will show output tomorrow once we start, and then we'll move ahead to the next concept. Okay, right. Okay then, thank you and bye.
Thank you.